All right, so let's recap on some basic, resources that we all have available to us, things that I'll advocate for. Like I've said, your local vet centers, they're an awesome resource. I've been able to get in with them. I go about once a week, maybe sometimes every 2 weeks, depending on scheduling or whatnot. But I'm lucky enough to have an individual as a counselor who, he's a vet, he's a combat vet. He's been there and done that. He was an infantry guy. I'm not going to hold that against him. Anyhow, he was an infantry guy, and he gets it. He's been there, he's done that. He's got the T-shirt, the DD-214 for it, and he's in the capacity that he is currently because he wants to help out his brothers and sisters. That's an honorable cause. They're affiliated with the VA to an extent, yes, but they're not part of the VA. So while we're touching on the VA, and again, I'm not a big proponent of them. I have my likes and dislikes of certain things, but this crisis hotline deal, right? This is a pretty slick setup, really. It's anonymous. They're not going to send anybody checking on you unless you're saying you're going to blow your head off or something of that nature. But I've used it a few times myself. Just wit's end, like what the heck? I'm going to have a complete and utter bad spell. So I've called them up and sat there, and generally, you'll get somebody on the other end, and they'll listen. They'll, provide you with some basic input or whatever the case is. I've even used it to make an appointment, which is not what it's designed for. But again, I was stressing. I was at wit's end. I was trying to get into the system of the VA to, do the right thing and go see a damn ET because I was having a bad spell, and I wasn't able to do it. And every time I called, I actually got a hold of somebody. They're trying to schedule it 2-3 weeks out. What part of I am currently in the middle of a significant emotional episode do you not understand? So I picked up the phone and I called the crisis hotline. And in doing so, I had an appointment the next day. I'm not saying use the crisis hotline to make all your appointments with just because you don't want to wait 2 or 3 weeks or whatever the case is. But if it's emergent, if you're in need right then and there, then hell yeah, go ahead and dial that number up. Keep the sucker on speed dial. It's just like this for me. This is a form of therapy for me to an extent. Like I said, I don't like doing it, but I'm willing to do it. But to be able to get my, messed up train of thought out of my head, the way I view things, my experiences, it's helpful to an extent. I'll admit that much. But anyhow, hopefully there are some tidbits in there that are useful to you.